Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Yes, I am back. I have another story for you. Again, and as ever, it is based on 5 random words, and the words that inspired the story are... The story, which is number 59, is called Rockabye Baby. Push the self-rocking cradle. The instruction from Darren's manager at the Orpington Kids World filled Darren with dread. In a fit of ill-informed enthusiasm, Mr. Sanchez had ordered 50 of the ridiculous creations, and the supplier did not do sale or return. If the cradle was self-rocking, Darren wanted to ask, why on earth do you need to push it? But witticisms didn't go down very well with Sanchez, who had no discernible sense of humour. Darren had worked in retail since his recovery from a rare blood disease which left him partially incapacitated. He suffered from troughs of deep fatigue, which meant he had to rest from time to time. So far, he'd gotten away with so doing. On a wet Tuesday morning, he was having one of these brief sit-downs when a young woman came in. She was olive-complexioned, had raven black hair, and was quite heavily pregnant. She was also undeniably lovely. However, Darren held as an absolute moral axiom that you didn't mess with another man's wife. The wedding ring on the customer's right hand was practically gleaming out a warning. Darren, it has to be said, had a bit of a thing for pregnant women, not an uncommon fetish, as the lonelier reachers of the internet might testify. However, as he ambled over, half hoping another member of staff would get there first, Darren was determined to remain on his best behaviour. "Can I help you?" he asked. The customer was actually looking at the self-rocking cradle with evident interest. She laughed as she straightened up with some effort. "Is this a ridiculous gimmick or what?" She had a slight accent, and Darren guessed that she might be Greek, and wondered if he should ask her name. He'd read that if you could get a customer's name, you were 43% more likely to sell to them. "It's unusual, I'll give you that. It has 5 standard speeds, and it's even got a setting that sets a gentle rocking if it senses your baby is restless during the night. Plus, you can start it remotely. Say, for example, if you're using a video baby monitor. We've got a sale on at the monitors at the moment, actually." Darren tended to blurt when he felt self-conscious, and the lovely Elena, as he imagined she was called, was making him quite hot under the collar. "And what's the cost of this amazing gadget?" Was that sarcasm or just a foreign intonation? "Oh, it retails at $2.99, but on the sale it's marked down to $2.50. Elena whistled her surprise. "Phew. I'm all for labour-saving devices," she said, no pun intended, "but I can rock a cradle myself." "When are you due?" Darren said, for the lack of anything better to say. "Well," she said with a widening of her lovely brown eyes, "any time soon. Actually, I know this is a bit weird, but I've been on my feet for a couple of hours and I could really do with a sit down." "Of course," Darren exclaimed. "I can do better than that. Come with me." He led Elena round to the special niche he'd found, the little blind spot where the mock-up of the tweens' bedroom was. It included a double bunk bed, out of sight of the sales desk, the manager's office and the CCTV cameras. Darren sometimes grabbed a quick power nap towards the end of a quiet day. He confessed as much to Elena, who gladly sat on the bed and swiveled her legs up onto the Harry Potter duvet. "I won't tell if you don't," she said, with a conspiratorial wink, one that melted his heart and gave him an inner flush of unadulterated lust. Jesus, what was wrong with him? "Oh my God, being pregnant makes lying down the best thing ever," Elena said gratefully. They sat in silence for a while. Elena with her back up against a pile of cushions and her legs up, shoes kicked off onto the rainbow-patterned vinyl. Darren sat in a small chair opposite her. "Maybe I could use a self-rocking cradle," Elena mused, eyes still shut. "I mean, I'm going to have to do everything else myself." Darren frowned, and Elena, who had opened her eyes, noticed. She gestured to her ring finger. "Oh, hubby never wanted kids. He ran off as soon as we had our little miscalculation." Darren definitely shouldn't ask. "Why do you still wear it?" she said. "A force of habit. Plus, it keeps the perverts away. You'd be surprised how many men have a thing for pregnant women. Darren truly hoped he was not blushing. I can offer you a 40% discount, he blurted. This was not entirely true. He would have to use his staff discount code to ring that through, but Mr. Sanchez did say push the cradle. You're wearing me down, said Elena, swivelling to a sitting position. Let's have another look. As he led Elena back over to the cribs, Darren caught Mr. Sanchez's eye and gave him a surreptitious thumbs up. He'd bloody better well make the sale now. Darren picked up the remote and put the little rocker through its paces. One setting for degree of rotation and one for speed. Darren passed over the control to Elena, who adjusted the parameters to maximum. At full rock, the cradle resembled a fairground ride. Is it safe? Said Elena, seemingly seriously. Was he actually going to sell her this thing? Absolutely, he said, nodding with vigour. Passes all the British safety standards. They're very rigorous. Do you have kids? Elena asked, seemingly out of the blue. Darren, at 35, was used to making excuses for his singledom and non-parenthood. No, but I'd like to, he simply said. I'm Darren. Shake hands and I'll ring up that discretionary discount. A bit weird, but he really wanted to know her name. I'm Helena. You drive a hard bargain. She put her soft hand into his and shook it firmly. And that's how your mother and stepfather met. And there you go. That's my little story for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, do consider subscribing, possibly watch another one, share, tell your friends. I'd love to make this YouTube channel a success, but I need your help. I need you to share this and tell other people about it. And I'll be back with another story soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.